Hi YouTube, this is your girl here, Tammy C. Walker, the owner of Dreams Are a Reality. I create this channel to provide light and love. How you all doing? I'm doing well. Switching gears here a little bit, I want to talk about what to do if you hate your job. This is a big deal because hating your job, it really pours into your other areas of your life. When you hate your job, it can cause health troubles, it can affect your relationship, it can affect a lot of things. So that's what I'll be talking about. Also providing solutions at the end. So stay until the end so you can hear some solutions. Also, please be so kind as to hit like, subscribe, share, share, like, subscribe. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, so I did write down some stuff. Trying to be cute without the glasses. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. And I wrote this chicken scratch. So you're at a job, you hate it. Poor compensation. It could be a toxic environment. It could be poor leadership, poor management, whatever it is that's causing you to feel like you hate being there. I've been in your shoes before. It doesn't feel good. Now, if you work a 9 to 5 or the traditional hours, think about that. You're getting up early. Some of us commute 30 to 1 hour per day to get to work, and coming home is an hour, maybe a little more due to traffic. Due to hybrid working, remote working, some people have avoided some of that. There are some jobs, now we know essential workers, they couldn't take advantage of that during COVID. They're not taking advantage of it now. Truck drivers, teachers, some teachers were doing remote, but now they're back in person. Nurses, doctors, manufacturing, they have to be there. They have to be there. Dentists, they have to be there in person regardless. So they can't do the remote work. What I learned about doing remote work, if you hate your work, doing the remote not going to make you like it. You still have to interact with your manager on Zoom. You still are interacting with your coworkers on Zoom or whatever platform you're using, Teams, and you're still on the phone with them. So you can't avoid a toxic exchange. Exchanges can be virtual or in person. Energy is energy. It's going to come through the phone. It's going to come through Teams. It's going to come through Zoom. So bad job, just a bad job. What a bad job can cost you is exhaustion, burnout. It can also cost you to gain weight. The reason why you're gaining weight is because you're not happy. And when we're not happy, fight, flight, freeze, they said fornicate, and feed. You're going to do something to cope with that dislike of that job. And nothing better for me than eat some hot potato chips or eating some little cupcakes from Target. They have the best dessert. And I'm not even a big sweet eater. But when you're feeling stressed and frazzled, you're going to turn to comfort food. During COVID, people drank more. They wanted comfort, couldn't get out. I'm going to take a shot, take a drink. I feel a little better. This is how people cope. When you are at a job you hate, you're not going to go run a marathon. You're not going to want to go running or jogging, although some people do. Some runners are serious. You're a serious runner. He or she is not going to let much get in the way of that because that running releases happy endorphins and it really keeps them in a better position than when they stop running. Yeah, they know to keep running because that's going to keep them somewhat okay. Yeah, I already read that. Bad dietary choices. It also compromises your immune system. When our immune system is compromised, this can cause us to have inflammation, cancer. It can feed off of inflammation, lupus, any of the illnesses. Inflammation doesn't help. You can have diabetes or get your blood pressure can go up, which can cause you to have a stroke. There can be a lot of things. When you are at a job you hate, has this happened to you? It's Sunday night and you get that anxiety. You know good and well you don't want to drive into that place on Monday. You don't want to get on Zoom on Monday because you hate your job. And it's a bad way to live. I lived like that for a long time. Some of my stuff was self-inflicted. I knew as a 19-year-old I didn't like being in accounting. I always hated math, so why would I even dare do that? So don't be like me, you all. I took the scenic route, the long route, knowing as a 19-year-old, I don't like this type of work, office work. I don't like doing accounting. Why did I dare do that type of work for years? Fear. I got married at 22. Basically, I was almost 23. Had to provide for my house with my ex. So you feel like you're forced to do things you hate to pay the bills. But this is not true. You don't have to live your life like that. If you are young watching this and you know you hate your career, it's time for you to start looking into fields that you may love. And don't be scared to do this. Some people do this for their parents. My mom and dad told me not to do this. My mom and dad said that doesn't make money. This is not 1970. This is 2024, and we can make money many ways. Things have opened up a lot, and entrepreneurship is well received. So go get on the bandwagon and get on board. You got to ride the wave. Right now, we have a wave of entrepreneurial type opportunities, and you jump on board and test out your thing. Don't be scared. One thing I don't like, and I'm about to go rogue and just freestyle this piece because this is off the top of my head. When you are at a job you hate, what it does is cause you to be bitter. And I see it with my current job as a school counselor. There are some, they hate that work. It's not the working with kids for some. I'm picking up that they have had some problems with someone at the company in upper management. I'm speculating, I'm just putting it all together. So when you see them, it's a negative undertone, it's complaints. And in my mind, I'm like, why they just won't quit? They should just quit. Because once you're not happy in the type of field I'm in as a counselor or a therapist, if I hate my job, my clients know as soon as I pop on the video or as soon as I enter the office, in my office in person, they know like she don't like what she doing. And how does that make your client feel when they know you don't enjoy your work? How can I help them when I'm not being authentic to myself? So I feel like, some of the people I work with, they should move on from the company instead of being bitter and negative, because it definitely comes through in the work that we do. And it's a waste of time. That's what I want to say about that. Now, let me show you something I did when I had a job I hated. I beat the stank out that job. What do I mean by that? I mastered it. I was at a job before I got this job. And I was bitter and mad because I went to school for 3 years to become a social worker, and I was ready to get into my field. I did get into my field with a very low paying, toxic, dirty job. I'm saying it was dirty because the office was just disgustingly dirty and the pay was horrid and it wasn't a good job. So I only stayed there maybe 8 months. Ooh, I don't even know how I did that. And the way they did their timesheets, they used an Excel spreadsheet, but it was so complicated. I just thought they were so antiquated. I'm like, where did this company come from? I recently saw an ad that they still are trying to hire people with that same old low pay. I think they bumped it up a little bit. But now this is oh my goodness, how many years later is this? My God, I can't even count. I want to say 6 years later, maybe more. And they still got those bad salaries. I'm like, I think it is 6 years later. I'm just glad I'm away from there. Woo, glory, glory, hallelujah. But anyway, I left there and I went to do HR. I don't know how I got this job because I never did HR. They hired me for an open enrollment for benefits. They ended up loving me. So once that was over, someone retired and I slid right into a permanent role. Now, the reason why I took the job, I needed a job. They paid me decent. They had excellent benefits. It was 7 minutes, 8 minutes from my house. But I hated that job because I was on the phone talking to retirees, talking to employees. Retirees were better than employees. Employees were privileged, unhappy. I don't know. They just seem very ungrateful type. I can't describe them. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't have good interactions with some of the employees. They were okay. I mean, nothing drastic, but it wasn't my forte. I don't like sitting on the phone hearing complaints. So why you took that job? Because I needed the money. Why did you take the job? So anyway, what I did was psych myself out. I said, what I'm going to do, 9 to 5 or whatever hours I worked. I said, I'm going to beat the stank out this job. I'm going to nail it. And that's what I did. I did excellent. They would be like, can you please put your manager on the phone? I want to tell him or her how great you are. I'm like, hold on. Tell my manager, somebody want to talk to you. And she was like, is it a complaint? I'm like, no, they said they want to compliment me. Send them through. Send all the complaints to me. Send all the compliments to me. And she listened to the complaints. But she was so happy. And it happened often. I started getting a complex because I had some two or three beautiful coworkers. They trained me, two of them, but they were kicking butts. But they always wanted to talk to my manager for me. I guess that little therapy piece was coming through at that job, but I couldn't stand that job. They didn't know that. I could not stand that job. Towards the end, someone from another department, they had like peer reviews. So when you did your review, they would grab somebody from payroll and grab somebody from somewhere else. They got one lady from payroll. She said I was an excellent employee. I always was polite, professional, blah, blah, blah. The second lady was like, she gave me a bad review, almost like Tammy will ask questions that she should know the answer to. I was like, you know what? But oh, the joke was on her because, honey, knew I was leaving, and I think when she did that, I had been looking for a new job. I said, "Oh, the joke gonna be on her with her butt still sitting here, and I'm out the door." I never told her I was leaving. I felt so happy leaving, though, not for her, but just because. Why you gonna give somebody a bad review that you know is a decent employee just to try to put a ding on them? You know, some people just maybe that's how she felt. Whatever, lady. God bless you. God keep you. But I kicked the stank out that job. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're at a job you hate, if you can, master it, destroy it. And so if you work 9 to 5, 5:01 p.m. is your time to shine. That's what I say. That's my fun time. And when I got out of there, I lived my best life. Sometimes you can combat that by having hobbies. Some people that play in a band or they'll do their music. They may be a runner. They may play tennis. They may play pickleball, all the rage. They may go swimming, or they may be with their family, with the kids' sports. Whatever it takes for you to shift gears and get into a happy mood once you leave that job you hate. Now, if you're in an unsafe environment, a toxic environment, sometimes you may have to take a leave of absence. And who can afford that at times without pay? But if it's affecting your blood pressure, you got to look into some different stuff. Sometimes you can find a new position within that company. Sometimes you can become a consultant if you're a master in your field. You can be a contractor. The beautiful thing about being a contractor, you typically make more sometimes than you did as a permanent employee. They do have benefits. They do have 401k. So people, they frown upon contracting. I did contract work for probably 6, 7 years. I had medical. I had 401ks. Those jobs kept me afloat during the 2008 period when a lot of people were unemployed because I knew SAP, the software, that a platform that kept me going and purchasing. And I made decent money and I had benefits. So don't frown upon being a contractor. It may connect you to another job. Sometimes being a contractor will give you the inside scoop on that company. You're there as a contractor for 6 months, 7 months, 12 months. And then you see, like, oh, I really want to work here. I liked being a contractor because you would be like, when this contract over, I'm out of here. Sometimes you don't even finish the contract. You just get on up out of there because it's so toxic. But it gives you a sneak peek of what the company is really about. And sometimes we need that because sometimes these companies can be very toxic. And many times it starts from the top. If upper management doesn't address things and it goes to middle management and then it comes down to you. But if you notice, if upper management is positive and holds their managers accountable, that's where people tend to have a better work-life balance. Some people holler that work-life balance, but the company really doesn't push it. They will work your fingers to the bone. That's another thing that really helps people when they do have work-life balance in place at these companies. I think Aldi might shut your computer off after certain hours so you won't even be tempted, which I think that's good. My sister's job is the same way. She can't be working no overtime. They're like, get out of there. Nope. Just do your normal 8 hours and go. And we need that. I work 7 hour days and I really appreciate that. I really do. The work we do, 7 hours is enough. It's enough. But Don't let that toxic job seep into your personal life. Now, let me read some of the stuff I wrote about that. Uh, they said even if you're stressed out at work, if you only do 30 hours, you can still feel the effects of high stress. Now, that's not even 40 hours, and it's still affecting your body. Also, it will affect your relationship. If you are at a job you hate, when you come home, you're gonna be in a bad mood. Then when you're stressed out, men and some women, because I know if I'm stressed out, I can't really say that. But some men, it will take away their sexual appetite. I think for some women, if we're stressed out, yeah, but then it might help us to relieve stress. But it's different with men. Yeah, and some men, they can do it, they don't care what's going on. But I have noticed that if a man is stressed out, they may not even want to. Stressed out or upset, I've noticed that it'll be more pushback for them, the sex. Because it's not, men are problem solvers and they are focused on trying to get to the bottom of that problem. They don't want to be bothered with sex sometimes. Sometimes some men, they don't care what's going on. Some ladies are like that. They did a study. 20,000 nurses were unhappy due to their unhappiness with their job. They were at risk for cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. The study proved this. Have you noticed if you had a job you hate, it can cause you to have like a very upset stomach? I've been at jobs where I hated the job. As soon as I get there, I get that diarrhea feeling or that upset. That sick feeling to the stomach. Some of us, we carry our anxiety in our stomach. You know who you are. You get a migraine over and over. You go there, you get a migraine. Oh, you feel your blood pressure shooting up. That's how I was at one job. I could just feel my pressure shooting up. And I did more than feel it shooting up. I went to the dentist. They said, Miss Walker, your pressure is high. Do you have blood pressure problems? No, I do not. I'm like, uh-oh. Red flag. I go to my main doctor, my oncologist, and the nurse is taking my pressure. She's like, your pressure is very high. Do you have blood pressure problems? No, I do not. But what I'm going to do is resign. So I went and found me a new job, and my pressure went down. We cannot be dying over no job. And I know it's like a catch 22. We need our job to eat. We need our job to pay our mortgage and our rent and our car. And Lord knows, I just got news today about my student loans. One of them is back. And I'm like, I'm going to have to pay two student loans. It would like to have stressed me out, but I didn't let it. I said, don't you dare go there, girl. You go figure it out. I'm going to pay those student loans some way. I have to maybe move some stuff around or hope and pray these clients stick. I've been having a real good year with clients. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And what I want you to do, if you ever have to quit your job or leave your job and it affects your income, stay in communication with your creditors. Stay in communication. Don't let it go to no past 30 days. Watch your credit and don't let it go to past 30 days. I watch my credit weekly, really daily almost. And I noticed an error today on my credit report. They put my student loans on there doubly because they changed providers. I hate when they start doing all this. Is it providers or whatever? They changed. Yeah, whatever. I might not be called providers. But the student loan, company moved my loan to another company and they got it on there like double. No, baby, y'all gotta correct that. So of course I put in a dispute because you gotta watch your credit. They made it look like I had double the debt with the student loan. That's not cool. So I'm getting that fixed. Watch your credit, everybody, in conjunction with, look for a new job and in your career. Watch your credit. Watch your money. That's not my strong suit, the finance piece, but I do watch my credit. I really do. I mean, I should stop saying it because I do okay. I could do way better with the finances. I could do way better. That I know, but I manage okay. I'm pretty okay in some areas. I pay my bills on time. Let me put it to you that way. And I have a little money saved. So I guess I'm not as bad off, but I could do much, much, much better. And I will say that. Okay, let's see. Let's say you get to the point where you are just done with that job. You gotta look. Make sure you have a concise resume. You don't want to put 3 and 4 pages. If you're a little bit older, don't ageism yourself. Don't put 1980 for your high school diploma. Don't do all that. Just put your high school. Don't put no, try not to put in a whole lot of years because they will box you out. I just read an article about that. People were saying they are older, they're in the legal field, and they can't get a job. And so people were giving them tips. Put 20 years plus. Don't put 1987 through blah, blah, blah. Don't do that because that will knock you out. Maybe put the last 20 years on there, 15 years. Don't go too far back. But make sure your resume is concise, easy to read. Don't jumble it up. Okay, please don't lie on there because that will get you in trouble. Fill in the gaps. Be aware of the ATS system. Oh, dang, what does it stand for? Applicant Tracking System. Ooh, I can't stand acronyms, but I remembered it. They use that a lot, and it is a website that you can use where you pop your resume on one side, pop the job description on the other, and it draws out the keywords. I'm going to put it in the body of this YouTube video. I will put it in my comment section. Use the ATS system, applicant tracking system. Use that and pop those keywords in for your resume so they can pull your resume. It's not people sitting there thumbing through resumes. They use that applicant tracking system. If you don't have those keywords, sometimes you may not get picked. Now, recently, I kind of was looking at some jobs, and I did get responses. They wanted to set up interviews, and I wouldn't do it with either one of them. It was 3, and I kind of canceled every one. I did because I really read through the job description. It sounded like stuff that would stress me out. I'm opening my own practice. I don't want to be stressed out. I can get stressed out with what I'm doing now, but my manager is so cool. My coworkers are so cool, and upper management I like. So I like the company. Sometimes my commute is a bit much, and sometimes it's hard working with youth. It really is. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But the good outweighs the bad. So I don't want to jump into nothing worse. All right. Make sure you do a cover letter. I know people just want to pop their resume in. Cover letter is the bomb. You don't have to say a whole lot. And you can start it off. Go look online for some samples, and they'll kick it off with more than, "Hi, I'm Tammy C. Walker. I would like to apply." No, start with something a little better, something that grabs their attention. Go look on Google a cover letter, and you will see one for all the different fields that you are in, and I'm in, and other people are in, and mimic that letter. Be sure to put your salary history or what you want. That way they won't be contacting you. You want 95,000, they pay 60. You don't even need to do all that. They are listing salaries more and more, but don't waste your time with something that don't pay what you deserve. That's why I like to list my salary requirements are. A nice thank you letter wouldn't be bad. If you email it, you definitely would stand out as a candidate. People are not emailing thank you letters, so if you do that, they're going to remember you. Hey, Brian Williams, he sent a thank you letter. Now, I think that's somebody we may want for our organization. If it's just too much toxic, heart palpitations, anxiety, headaches, migraines, can't sleep, eating bad, can't eat, yeah, get out of there. You must take a leave of absence. You go to your doctor and you say, "I'm so stressed. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. I need to take some time off." Get you a month or 2 off. Short-term disability will kick in. Should be 60% of your salary. Some people are blessed. They have a decent savings. They can go on a medical leave. Unpaid leave, leave of absence. What is the other one you are? Oh my goodness. FMLA. They can go on that. If you have a job that you hate and it's causing you medical problems, you may be able to work 30 hours for the week and use 2 days for FMLA per week. Maybe you can do, so what would that be? 28 hours maybe or something like that. You can do 28 hours instead of 40. Is that right? 32 hours instead of 40. Maybe you could do that. Or maybe you could do 21 hours instead of 40. What am I doing? What would that be? 24 hours is what I'm trying to say, you all, instead of 40. You could do 4 days times 8 hours. 32. Oh God, what am I doing? You all, my math ain't mathing. 8 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. So 24 hours. Whew. That was not my subject, math. But do whatever you got to do for your health. Your health is your wealth. And I know what it's like to hate a job. It really affects your self-esteem after a while. You just be dragging around because you're trying to be happy, you partying, you at a wedding, you're doing this, but in the back of your mind, you're like, I hate that job. Some people are like that. It really affects them. Some people could play it off, or they can do that 9 to 5, make their money, stack money away, pay their bills, and go live their best life after 5. Take their vacation. They're in Cancun, they're wherever. They hate their job, but they're just doing it to get through life. They know that's what they have to do for now until they can get to something better. But keep a resume, even if you like your job. Always keep a resume, fresh resume. You never know when the opportunity is going to pop up. Sometimes a great opportunity pops up when you're not even looking for a job. You never know. I hope something I said helped you. Follow some of the tips I'm naming. Try that applicant tracking system. That way your resume can get selected. If you are not getting pulled or selected, it's probably that. They're not standing there reading resumes anymore. They're letting the system do it. You know, everything's automated these days. All righty. I hope you find a new job. I hope you find happiness. I hope you find whatever you need for peace. You deserve a job you love. You deserve to rise and shine and not have regrets about, where you got to be for 8 hours. Some people work 10 hours. Some people do 12-hour days. You deserve to be happy. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Enough of my chatter. Thank you all for watching. And drop me comments. I would love to hear what you have to say about this one. And what you did to change your job if you had a job you hated. Okay, take care. God bless you all. Bye.